He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, He delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Minash Mishra.
ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। So good morning everyone and good evening the people, those who have joined from the other side. So you might have already seen the poster, like you are again engaged for the next 16 weeks at least. And if we cut it down by 2, at least 8 weeks. So to start with this beautiful journey, which I don't even know how many of you have heard of. And then we start this series. Those who have been following even Krishna for a long time, they might not be knowing it. They only know Krishna as one form. But when Krishna showed his Virata Swarupa to Arjuna, it was not one. It encompassed everything. And that's where there are 16 kalas of Krishna as well. If you know, like every deity has a kala. Some have 7, some 10, some 14, some 13, and Krishna has 16. And if you look at that, there are 16 Swarupas of Krishna as well, which is very lessly known. And especially it would be a little difficult for even to the people, those who have been knowing Krishna in one way, to see him in other ways. But it's going to be their choice. If they want to live with their limited ideas, or they want to know him in a little bit more than what they know. So it might challenge some people, but the challenge is thrown at them, not at us. So let's see how well they can take what Krishna is all about. They say Krishnaya Vasudevaya, and but they stop there itself. But what about the other parts of Krishna? Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Haraye Paramatmane, Pranatah Kleshanashaya, Govindaya Namo Namah. In this itself, he is talking about Krishna and Gopala and Govinda in the same space. So it is asking about two different aspects of it. It starts with Krishna and ends with Govinda. So what we are going to do is we will take two parts of Krishna, and that is will be divided into the esoteric way of looking at it, like what Krishna is all about, and especially the last six. Those will be part of Tantra, where Krishna is known as the Mahakal. महाकौल वो होते हैं जो सर्व से तंत्र में जो सर्व से सिद्ध होते हैं, उन्हें कौल कहते हैं. और अगर कोई महाकौल है तो वो कृष्ण है. सो वाइल द वर्ल्ड ओनली नोज हिम एज ए काउ हर्ड बॉय, one who is just popular in our traditions. He is just a playful little kid or a divine lover. He might even be seen as a teacher when you are looking at the Bhagavad Gita, and even the absolute embodiment of bliss. But there are other ways of looking at it. In certain tantric and certain esoteric traditions, where they dive deep into that, correlating whatever is being said, not just as a outer god, but within themselves as well. So, what we are trying to do through all this series is to try to understand it in a deeper and a more mystical way. And the forms that represent various dimensions of consciousness: Shakti, attraction, transcendence, and even divine union. And in order to tell you about those 16 forms of Krishna, you might have already seen the poster which was talking about the Gopala Krishna, the Shyama Krishna, the Rasa Krishna, the Radha Krishna, the Tribhanga Krishna. So we will be unfolding it one by one. So are you ready for this series? So it being Krishna, he being a little playful, the series is going to be that way. You know what, like once when Krishna was caught by the gopis, they catch hold of Krishna and they said, today we have caught hold of you and we are going to take you to your mother and say that she has always been denying that you are not a not stealing from us, but today you have been caught, so let's go. And you know, like in the old days, they used to take the pallu, like that churni used to be that long. They could not see it. So they are holding up Krishna in one hand, and while walking, you all know the story. He brings one of his friends and gives the hand of his friend to them and runs away. So that's what he is all about. So if you are a little bit not cautious, he might slip away somewhere else and you might be thinking, oh, what I'm hearing, is it true or not? So choosing to be this in this space and trying to know more than what the world knows is going to take a lot of focus from your side, but I think you have enough of that, I believe. So with is my voice clear? Okay, so that's good.
It's clear. It's clear, Maharaj.
Okay. So starting with the Gopala Krishna that we will talk about today. Gopala understanding, and just I'm trying to give you a little bit of essence of all the 16 that we will be covering in the due course of the upcoming weeks. Today we'll start with the Gopala Krishna, who is the master of the senses, whose flute actually is like a calling for the soul to back to its origin, to back to its source. And if you look at all these 16 Krishnas that we are going to talk about, you will also see like how a journey of a soul also goes into play. So Gopala Krishna is the one who is like the awakening of the soul. Means for the first time the soul has realized that it is not just a being on this planet, but it is something far more bigger than that. So that is the first awakening of the soul. It starts questioning, who am I and what are all these things happening around. Then it will come the Shama Krishna, or the one, the color Shama, who is the Krishna as the boundless, who is mysterious, who is actually like a cosmic void from which all creation will emerge. It is the space where the Atman enters the infinite. Now, for up until now, it was only feeling itself limited to the body, to the world, to the mind, and thereafter, when it knows about the Shama Krishna, it will enter into a field of infinity. Then comes the Rasa Krishna, who is the embodiment of cosmic dance between the consciousness and the Shakti. Then, when the Atman comes to know about the Rasa Krishna, it starts experiencing the divine ecstasy. First, it realized, next, it entered into the divine space of infinity. Third, it starts experiencing that divine ecstasy within itself. Then comes the Radha Krishna, which is the eternal union of the Purusha, the consciousness, and Prakriti, the divine energy. And here, once the Atman enters into that, it will realize about the union of the consciousness and energy. It will not feel that it is separate. It will not feel it is weak. It will not feel it is abandoned. Now there is a union between the Atman and the Paramatman as well. And thereafter you will have the Tribhanga Krishna, which is the mystical three bends or the posture in which Krishna stands. If you look at him, he is seen as a Tribhanga. There are three turns when he stands. If you look at it, one is at his knees when the leg is folded. The second is at its kati, means his waist when he is a little slided, and then near his face when he is holding the bansuri, and now he has a head a little tilted. So it's a tribhanga कहते हैं, like तीन जगह पे भांग मतलब it's twisted and turned at three spaces. So that would be the Tribhanga Krishna. And when you will know like Tribhanga Krishna, it is the posture which will represent the balance of the body, the mind, and the soul. It is not just a bend in the body of Krishna, but it will depict how those bends affect us at a greater level. And once the Atman realizes that part of Tribhanga Krishna, it will harmonize itself into existence, because now the body, the mind, and the soul are all aligned with the divinity. Thereafter will come the Yogeshwara Krishna, who is like the divine guide who leads the seeker through the battlefield of inner transformation. It's not only the Krishna that transformed Arjuna, it's the Krishna that is within, and it will help you to transform. It's like after that, once this harmonization happens, it starts getting the direct instructions, the inner guidance within themselves. And that's where the Yogeshwara Krishna comes into play. And after that comes the Yogeshwara. After the Yogeshwara, it would be the Vishwarupa Krishna. When the Vishwarupa Krishna appears, the universal form which contains all the worlds in itself, all the beings, all the dimensions, everything that is culminated within it, they will start to showcase. And then the Atman has a cosmic vision. It does not separate itself as a single entity. It can correlate itself with all the thing that is happening in this cosmos, and then it will realize its presence in the cosmic vision as well. Thereafter would come upon the Kaliya Mardana Krishna, who is the conqueror of poison. What is the poison that we carry? Just like the snake carries a poison within, we carry one specific poison which is called as the ego. And that ego has been not biting only others, but has been biting up us in the longest run. So when the Kaliya Mardana Krishna appears, it will conquer over that poison, over the ego, and all the distorted energies that is there within the consciousness, which deviates somebody from one to other spaces. He will appear as the Kaliya Mardana Krishna, and there where the Atman starts mastering the lower nature of it, and it will start transcending. Then it will come the Kama Bija Krishna, which is the primordial force that draws every soul towards the truth and the divine union. If you might have felt, why do I feel the pull towards divinity when the entire world is running towards the materialistic things? And that is where you will realize it is his power in that space, the Kama Bija Krishna. And that is what is called as the divine attraction. When the divine starts attracting the soul in one dimension and in one pull towards itself only, not throwing it away into this creation, but towards itself, that is where the Kama Bija Krishna will come into action. Then will come the Maharasa Krishna. The Krishna which is the form of the Sat Chit Ananda, the infinite bliss beyond duality. Because we only knew up until now, the Atman only knows about one kind of pleasure, which is in the duality nature. I eat something, I feel good. I see something, I feel good. I listen to something, I feel good. But here it will showcase that it's not anything outside. It's all within you. And then that duality that we have been living with, that will disappear. And that, in that moment, what you feel is absolute bliss. And that is where the Atman realizes the absolute bliss over there. And thereafter would specifically come the Tantra Rupa of the Krishna in the form of Gopala, or even as the Krishna itself. After this, the last 6 that we are talking of. The 10, you heard of it. Now the last 6 is the Kamaraja Gopala, or the Kamaraja Gopala Krishna, who is the ruler of all longing, transforming the worldly desire into yearning for the divine. The pull that you feel within yourself, and when you feel like I'm not able to content myself without reaching out to that viraha, that when you at times feel like, why I'm not able to reach out to that divinity, when will I reach out to that divinity? That is the form where the Kamaraja Gopala Krishna comes into space. That is the absolute divine longing that will never ever allow you to stay away from that. That would be the Kamaraj. Then it will come the Manmatha, Gopala Krishna, who is the beauty and the attraction that absolutely captivates even the Kamadeva himself. It's the divine attraction intensified. It will not allow you to deviate anywhere anymore. It will keep you in the track. And now, once you are fallen into this, you will never be out of the track again. You might have heard, you might have seen so many devotees of Krishna, those who absolutely purely went mad into his love. This is where they have reached to this stage where they cannot move anywhere else apart from him. It's like one single track, the most magnetic way of looking at it. Then it would come the Kandarpa Krishna, Gopala Krishna. What is the Kandarpa Gopala Krishna? It's the transcendental beauty of pure consciousness and unconditional love. Here, Krishna is not no more, he will put a condition, you do this, then only I'll get you. All the conditions are moved. It becomes an unconditional love there. And that is where the revelation of the true divine beauty appears, because here the Atman realizes that it was not the divine who was asking me to get ready, it was I who thought I was not. And now there is no conditions because he accepts me the way I am. That would be the revelation of the divine beauty. And there it sees how amazing the divine has been. And thereafter will come to the Makaraketana Gopala Krishna, the master of the subconscious forces, emotions, instincts, and the hidden desires that still hold you in the karmic bondage of coming and going. And in that space, it will transform your desires towards this, from this creation towards itself. And now, thereafter, you will come across Manobhava Gopala Krishna, the inner revelation of Krishna arising from the purified, absolute, pure consciousness. In this stage, the Krishna is not revealed anywhere outside. The Krishna is revealed within you. And then the final Swarupa that you will be coming to realize is the Siddha Gopala Krishna. He is like the absolute master there. He is a Siddha. The culmination of the spiritual realization when a seeker and the sought become one. There is no Krishna outside, there is no devotee outside. They all become one. The complete non-dual realization means absolutely establishing the Atman in the Paramatman. And then there is nothing to tell. There is nothing to be spoken. There is nothing left out. And that's where there is this secret thread that is connecting all the 16 of it. If you look at it very carefully, whatever I told you, from the first call of the flute as the Gopala Krishna to the ultimate realization of the Siddha Gopala, every form will represent a different expression in one eternal truth, where it will bring in the knowledge where Krishna is the tide, Krishna is the ultimate divine magnetism that attracts the soul back to its own infinite nature. And you know what is told about Krishna? Akarshayati iti Krishna. Krishna is the one, he who is irresistibly, who draws you all beings onto himself. That is what Krishna is all about. Akarshayati Krishna. The one who actually attracts is Krishna, and the ultimate attraction. So this is what you are going to study, learn, go through, or even realize as all these things will start unfolding. And as you are prepared for this, I want you to do one thing now. Close your eyes for a moment. Now look at your soul's journey, even though you don't know. But at least the calling is there. At least the pull is there. At least the realization is there. At least the connectivity is there. Say yes within yourself if it is. And now, when you are feeling that connectivity within you, just for a moment, imagine a simple flute bansuri lying silently on the sacred banks of Yamuna. यमुना के तट पर एक बांसुरी पड़ा हुआ है. It is nothing more than a hollow piece of bamboo. बस एक बांस का टुकड़ा है. It has no melody of its own, no power to enchant anyone, no magic to transform hearts. Yet, the moment Krishna lifts that flute to his lips, something extraordinary happens. The same bamboo that was once lifeless begins to pour forth music, which is so divine that the sages lose themselves in ecstasy. The rivers seem to pause their flow, animals stop grazing, and hearts awaken to a longing which they cannot explain. What changed? The flute became empty, and this is perhaps the first and the greatest secret hidden within Tantra. The divine does not seek to fill you up, the divine seeks to empty you. Only that which is hollow can become an instrument of the infinite. Only when the noise of the ego subsides can the music of God begin to flow. Most people understand Gopala Krishna simply as the protector of cows or the one who takes care, Gopala. But the ancient tantric shears saw as much deeper truth concealed within this name. In the Vedic symbolism, the word go possesses many other meanings apart from cow. It can refer to cows, but it also refers to the senses, to rays of light, to speech, to wisdom, and the various streams of consciousness moving through existence. And that is why Gopala is not merely the caretaker of cattle. He is the master of the senses. He is the divine shepherd who gathers all the scattered energies of the human being and guides them back towards its source. Now you can open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you will realize the eyes wander towards countless forms. The ears chase endless sounds. The tongue seeks pleasure, and the mind races after innumerable desires. Human consciousness resembles a vast herd. It's just like you might have seen the cow herds, right? So, if you look at this part of the activity that you do on a daily basis, it also looks like a lot of herd, like a herd of cows moving together in every direction at once. Your eyes are running somewhere, your ears are running somewhere, your tongue wants to eat something else, your belly talks about something else, your ears want to listen to something. So, this is like all going into different directions at the same time. But Krishna, as the Gopala, lovingly gathers all these wandering faculties or facilities that you have within you and brings them back into harmony. This is why so many stories uh, keep on talking that Krishna, how he brings all the cows back home together. So, you might have heard so many stories where Krishna was returning the cows to Vrindavan when it is evening time. The story is not just mere historical, it is actually mystical because the cows represent your senses, the dusk or the evening time that represents the moment when the soul begins its inward journey, because that is where true meditation begins, when all the wandering senses that was wandering into this world now start returning home and start returning to the heart. And if you look at the bansuri, the flute that Krishna holds in his hand, the flute itself contains the most, I can say, one of the most profound spiritual teachings that has ever been given. Have you ever wondered why Krishna carries a flute instead of a sword? Why he's not holding a scepter? Why he's not holding a weapon or a symbol of worldly authority? Have you ever wondered? And then, if you have never wondered, think about for a moment. All the other gods and goddesses you will see, they hold something in their hand. But what is Krishna holding in his hand? Is there any weapon? You can see the weapons in the form of Narayan. But as Krishna's imagery, if you look at him, again, as I said, Sudarshan Chakra is not holded by any of the Krishna's Swarupas up until he started showing up that to Arjuna. But in the general cases of any idols of Krishna, if you look at it, you will see it always holds a flute in his hand. But even if you look at Ram, he has the Kodanda. Even if you look at Shiva, he has the Trishula. But in the case of Krishna, he has a flute. And that was a greatest teaching that has been taught to us. Because the flute actually represents the perfected seeker. It possesses no voice of its own. It does not impose its will. It does not decide which song shall emerge from it. It has surrendered completely. The bamboo allowed itself to be cut. It allowed itself to be emptied. It allowed itself to be hollowed. And it allowed itself to be transformed. And once all these things happened, only then could Krishna choose it as his instrument. In exactly the same way, the human ego desires control, recognition, and importance, while the soul longs to something greater, something much bigger. But by becoming transparent enough for the divine to flow through us without obstruction, we have to become like that flute. Because that is what the spiritual realization appears to us by looking at that simple instrument. But when you go into the path of, again, through the tantric ways of looking at it, the human body is also considered as Krishna's flute. The Bhagavad Gita refers to this body as the city with 9 gates, which is known as the Navadvara Pura. The 9 gates, the 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the 2 nostrils, the mouth, and the 2 lower openings. It might be right. Just as the flute contains openings through which the divine music emerges, the human body also contains gateways through which the consciousness expresses itself. Yet most people's flute remains blocked. It's not a physical ailment. It is clogged by actually fear. It is clogged by attachment. It's clogged by anger. It's clogged by jealousy. It is clogged by pride. It is clogged by insecurity and all the other countless desires. The moment these desires or the moment these obstructions begin to dissolve, in that moment something miraculous occurs. Then the eyes will not merely see objects, they begin to perceive divinity in whatever they see. The ears no longer seek gossip and distraction, they begin to hear wisdom. Speech becomes sacred, breath becomes a prayer, and life itself becomes absolute music. In such spaces, once you reach, in that space, the body will stop to just being a mold of flesh and blood, and instead, it will become a divine instrument of the divine consciousness. There is, in the Vaishnava traditions, there is a beautiful mystical teaching because they tell a story of the bamboo questioning Krishna. One day it such happened that the bamboo asked to Krishna, among all the things or all the trees in Vrindavan, why did you choose me? To this, Krishna smiles and he replied, because you surrendered everything. You allowed yourself to be cut. You allowed yourself to be hollowed. You allowed every obstruction within you to be removed. You did not resist your transformation. Therefore, my breath can flow through you. Now, listening to this, the bamboo started weeping because these were not mere words. When the bamboo once might have thought, why I'm going through all this, why there are drilling holes, why there are hollowing me, it never realized that it was being created, not destroyed. So, in our lives also, when so many things appear and disappear and so many things show up, we feel like as if life is being destroyed. There, Tantra says it is not being destroyed, it is being created. It is being created so that the breath of Krishna can flow through you. So, for a moment, if you are that who is ready to be emptied, what will happen? And when the bamboo was crying, Krishna then revealed a secret that echoes, still that echoes through all the genuine spiritual traditions. Because Krishna said, the day a seeker becomes like you, looking at the flute, he said, the day a seeker becomes like you, I shall play through him as well. This simple appearing story, it contains the essence of Tantra. Because enlightenment is not all about accumulation of power, knowledge, or status. Enlightenment is like becoming empty enough for God to move freely within you. Now, if you look at another aspect of Krishna, especially the gopis, in ordinary representation about gopis, if somebody who does not know about them, for them these are like the village maidens or the village girls who are enchanted by the Krishna's beauty. But in the tantric vision, the gopis symbolize the countless energies running through us, the countless faculties running through us, the countless dimensions of consciousness within every human being. Each gopi represent a particular aspect of the soul's longing for the union with the divine. And when Krishna begins to play the flute, the gopis abandon everything and run towards him. Because this is not merely a story of devotion, it is a description of the meditation itself. Because when the divine calls and it is heard not outside, it's heard within you, all your thoughts will stop wandering. All your desires will start losing their grip over you. And every fragment of consciousness will start or begin moving towards its source. So when you see the gopis running towards Krishna, it is like the inner journey of awareness returning to its heart of existence, not just a physical appearance where somebody is running after something. When you are listening to about this, just close your eyes for a moment again And now imagine yourself to one of those beings like the gopis. And all that they know is the moment they hear the flute, they forget everything. And all that they do is run towards the divine. Now take your time, and in this time frame, try to connect back with that divinity. Connect with that divinity in such a way that you start feeling either a complete void within yourself, which will indicate that you're absolutely blank in this body so that you are nowhere connected to it, or you start feeling a strong connection or a pull towards Krishna. Take your time, whichever way it happens for you. Because for me, at times I feel like absolutely blank, and at times it is connected. In whichever way you are able to connect, just take your time. Now sit in the silence and allow yourself to be completely merged into that space.
शिव कैलाशों के वासी होली धारों
And while you are still sitting with your eyes closed, keep being in that space and just listen to what I'm going to say now. Now, when you have heard about the Rasa Leela, it is perhaps one of the most misunderstood events in spiritual literature, because the rasa means lot more than just dance. Rasa is the essence, the nectar, the very flavor of existence. And that is why it is said Raso Vaisa. He is truly the supreme nectar, because when Krishna dances simultaneously along with countless gopis, it symbolizes infinite consciousness dancing with every force, every energy, every soul within the creation. And there is only one Krishna. Yet he appears everywhere. There is only one awareness. Yet it manifests through countless forms. Every star that is circling in the heavens, every atom vibrating within matter, every heartbeat within every living being participates in this eternal cosmic dance. The Rasa Leela is not a historical event that occurred once in Vrindavan, because it is happening this very moment throughout the universe and even within you. So, how about every cell of your body is dancing to its tunes? Every atom in your body is dancing into the tune of Krishna. Experience that for a moment. Because the more and more silent you become from the outward noise and even the inward sounds, you will become silent, and a sound of divine will begin in that space of silence. In the Nath Paramparas or the Natha Yogis, they associate even the Krishna's flute with the mystical experience of Anahatanada, the unstruck sound. This is a sound that does not arise from physical vibration. It emerges from the very depths of the consciousness during profound meditative states. Even our ancient texts describe seekers hearing the subtle sounds which resemble as if the bells are ringing somewhere, the bees are humming, or the waterfall, or the flutes, or they hear celestial music. As your meditation deepens, the sounds merge into a single current that pulls your awareness inward towards the absolute. There have been numerous saints who have described hearing Krishna's flute internally during the states of deep meditation or samadhi. For them, the flute was not merely symbolic, it was kind of a direct mystical experience. It was like the divine call was literally heard within the silence of their consciousness. Take a time to become so silent that the divine music starts playing within you. Take a moment. And now, if you wish to experience that Gopala Krishna directly, just allow your awareness to settle. And now, as if you have cleared your own self within, now imagine yourself standing in Vrindavan and it being the golden twilight. The Yamuna is flowing gently by your side, and the cool breeze that is flowing, it carries the fragrance of the flowers blooming around. And suddenly, from somewhere in the distance, a flute begins to play. Do not force the melody, simply listen. With each breath, you move closer to the source. And as you move closer to the source, the music grows clearer while the noises of the world starts fading away. Allow the world, the noises, the thoughts, let go of them. Let them all fade away. And eventually, you see Krishna standing beneath a Kadamba tree. Radiant beyond description, compassion flowing from his eyes. Just look at him and imagine how beautiful he is. And as he plays the music, every note of the music enters your being and awakens a forgotten remembrance. The chakras within you begin to bloom like lotus touched by the divine light. It's like every chakra lighting up one by one. The heart completely softens. The mind absolutely silent. And here something extraordinary happens. You realize that the music is no longer coming from Krishna alone. The music is arising within you. Your breath is His breath. Now breathe as if He is breathing through you. Your heart is His temple. Your body is His flute. And then both the listener and the player dissolve into one presence. And now in this space, we will chant a mantra 21 times. And you can listen to it and chant within your own self. Om Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijanavallabhaya Namah. Om Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijanavallabhaya Namah. Om Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijanavallabhaya Namah. ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। 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 ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय स्वाहा। ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय स्वाहा नमः। ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। ॐ क्लीं कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। Om Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Namaha. Om Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Namaha. Om Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Namaha. See, every time you repeat this, it's like the soul going back to its source. Every repetition of this mantra removes another layer of resistance, another obstruction in the flute of your being. And gradually, the divine breath begins to flow free within you. You can open your eyes now. Ultimately, the greatest of the greatest tantric secrets about the Gopala Krishna is that most the devotees who spend their lives searching for him, very few realize that Krishna has been searching for them all along. The longing that you feel for the divine is actually the divine longing for itself through you. The tears that arise during your devotion is it is like inexplicable. It cannot be explained. That's kind of a ache within the heart that cannot be explained. The moments of overwhelming love that appears during the prayers, these are not the signs of separation, but evidence of an ancient remembrance. Many seekers believe that I am searching for Krishna, but the awakened ones realize Krishna has been calling me from the beginning. But now, when finally the ego becomes hollow and the senses return to their source, and when every obstruction is surrendered, the divine breathes in you. The flute becomes to sing, or is becomes capable to sing. And the song that emerges is no longer yours. It will be of Krishna himself. Not merely in front of you or before you, not merely around you, but it's like a living, breathing, and playing through all of you. And when all these things that you did right now, let me ask one question. How about your thoughts? How about your desires? How about the list of pending things? How about that worldly pull? How about all that you were thinking in the morning? I can say this is how you understand the Gopala Krishna. Now he has taken over the herd of cows together. मानो सारे बिचरते हुए गायों को इकट्ठा कर दिया है और एक ही मार्ग में लेके चले चले जा रहा है. And that silence that is reigning within you. Can you see? Is absolutely silent. There is another level of silence within you. This is what happens when it takes over. It was not to give you knowledge about him. It was about bringing him into your breath, bringing him into your experience. Do you feel like actually there is a pure, I cannot say control by somebody with force, but it is so subtle that it has become silent, effortless. That is Gopala. And that is the hidden truth about him. And this is where I say the greatest magic is not creating greater things. The greatest magic is making things simpler. When an ordinary life transforms into a divine melody, when a simple breath becomes the breath of the divine, a moment of life becomes the moment of silence of the divinity. Are you there now? Can you sit silently for some more time? So, while you sit silently, uh, let me see if I can bring something for you. And I will try to narrate this for you. And hopefully, you will love another creation of ours, which will anyway show up. Today, the second song is live now because it was scheduled for 6:30. So once you go out of the session, the song is ready for you on YouTube now. But there is one more that has been created. So Haribhai, are you there? So if you are around, I have shared a song along with right now with you.
Yes,
So you just keep ready and let me give the background of that for a moment. Now, just a day ago, or rather, yeah, it was a day ago, I was sitting and a thought came now. Okay. And that thought has been written into a song that has appeared. Now imagine this. I'm trying to create a imagery or a video of it. Imagine like it's Vrindavan hai, or like it's an enchanted forest and Radha is sitting there alone. Okay. And when Radha is sitting there, she is writing something about Krishna, thinking about him. Okay. And when Radha is thinking about Krishna and writing, she is absolutely lost in the thoughts of Krishna. And in that moment, Krishna enters that space. And Krishna, slowly hidden behind the trees, looks at Radha, what she is doing. And he notices that Radha is writing something. And Krishna knows what she will be writing. Of course, she will be writing about him. So slowly, with slow steps, he reaches out to Radha and tries to pull out that sheet on which Radha was writing. On that paper sheet, kind of whatever on which she was writing, he is trying to pull it out, and Radha tries to hide it. And then Krishna says, "What have you written?" And Radha says, "It is not complete yet." Krishna says, "Still show me." Radha says, "No, it's not complete. ये आधा है." राधा कहती है, ये आधा है. And then Krishna asks something to Radha, or Radha tells something to Radha in this way. Now, Hariva, you can play this so that you can realize what Krishna is saying to Radha, because Radha is saying, I have written it only half, it's not complete yet. And now listen to it, what Krishna is saying to Radha. Harivai, if you can play this, please.
अधूरा भी है तो हमें सुनाओ, हमारे बारे में लिख हमी से ना छुपाओ। राधे तुम्हारी हाथों से लिखी प्रेम के वो शब्द हमसे भी जताओ। जल उठे मेरे मन के दिए को तुम यूं ना बुझाओ। प्रीत पुरानी है मगर उसे एक नई परिभाषा दिलाओ। हे प्राण प्रिय हमें देख तुम बस ना यूं ही मुस्काओ। सताने की आदत तो हमें है राधे, तुम आज हमारा किरदार ना निभाओ। अपने शब्दों का स्पर्श देकर हमारे हृदय को शीतलता पहुंचाओ। आज उमड़ आए घन घोर बादल, चकोर सा ऐसा स्वर तुम लगाओ। सोए पड़े अमृत वाणी को तुम पुनः हमारे मन में जगाओ।
So now, so when I was thinking like how to create this, so I thought if it is Krishna, it should be a little playful, right? The song should be like that. So It's just a minute song, a minute minute song. And you can ask me why this song is half. क्योंकि राधा ने कहा आधा है, इसलिए गाना पूरा नहीं है. अगर राधा जिस दिन पूरा कर देगी ये गाना पूरा हो जाएगा. So I'll try to write the translation of that in English below that also, so that you understand what that entire meaning is all about. Okay. So that was the conversation that was going on within me, and I found a expression through this. I'll try to put that into that Anad Bhajan as well. So anytime you feel like playful in your head, you can go and listen to that. Right. So with this, I would like to let you go right now, because some of you who have not been able to do the Masik Shivratri yesterday, we still have time now. That is still the afternoon time, it is still there. So any kind of worship that you want to do, you can do that. One thing that you can specifically do is like at least take Adhik Mas ka last hai ye, so almost like tomorrow it is going to end. So do one thing today, if possible, light up at least 10 diyas at your home. Okay. So thus diye jala lo. It might be you can put it off a mixture of 5 of ghee and 5 of oil, or 10 of oil is also good, 10 of ghee is also good, whichever way. But I would suggest uh, doing 5 and 5 of each, means 5 of ghee and 5 of oil. So light up, it does not matter to be a bigger one, it's small diya is good enough. And just while lighting those up, just pray for the benefit of, or whatever your work is stuck or whatever work is not being done, just ask for the blessings for those things to be taken care of. Those, and even because of some or other thing that your work is being not done, you can still do that. There was one amazing process that we could not do today, but we will do it together, might be during Shivratri this time, the main Shivratri, when it comes next time. Uh, because if I have to tell that, it would be difficult for many of you to do. So at least do this 10 diyas tonight. Okay. So just light up, fold your hands, tell your heart's desire. That's it. No major process, no major things to be done. Because it being Purushottam Mas, yeah, at that same time, you can just play the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. If you are able to play that, play it. So that is going to be a good thing that rolls in your house. And after that, meet you again on during our Q&A. And of course, I have seen people are slowly starting to flood into the Kamakhya Kavach series for those 4 days. Bring in everyone that you can. Because whomever I am meeting, I'm asking them to be a part of it. I said, don't be with us, don't follow us, don't do anything with us, but at least do this for your own self, for your own sake. Now, for the boys, that is something else I'm going to plan beyond that. So let our divine beings be protected first, and then we will create another space for our own selves. Okay. So yes, invite all those people, those who have been for running away from spirituality, those who have been running away. It's just like you cannot deny food, right? Can anybody say I don't need food? 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. Up until they are a yogi, and if they have reached that space, they don't need it anyways. But for all the others, it is a very much required, and you will see in the upcoming days why I was forcing this so hard. Why I was saying that everybody has to do this, especially the females. It will unfold and you will realize at that time. And that day might you will call me and say, oh, so this was what was happening. Okay. So please, whomever you know, whomever, at least who has that, if they are not entirely painted with spirituality, at least a tint of spirituality will be there in them, right? The people, at least those who light up a diya at their home or just pray, they are good enough. Okay. So we'll meet up. See, this series of this Krishna that we have started, it is going to be very subtle up until the 10th. The last 6 are very typical. Okay. So sit every moment, and I can assure you one thing. Today you had one experience of that silence. With every aspect of it, it will have a different kind of experience with you. So meet you all in the Q&A. तब तक के लिए कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. बोलो राधे राधे. Hariva, you can play that song once more before we close. It's just a minute anyways, so that it rings better than my sound.
अधूरा भी है तो हमें सुनाओ, हमारे बारे में लिख हमी से ना छुपाओ। राधे तुम्हारी हाथों से लिखी प्रेम के वो शब्द हमसे भी जताओ। जल उठे मेरे मन के दिए को तुम यूं ना बुझाओ। प्रीत पुरानी है मगर उसे एक नई परिभाषा दिलाओ। हे प्राण प्रिय हमें देख तुम बस ना यूं ही मुस्काओ। सताने की आदत तो हमें है राधे, तुम आज हमारा किरदार ना निभाओ। अपने शब्दों का स्पर्श देकर हमारे हृदय को शीतलता पहुंचाओ। आज उमड़ आए घन घोर बादल, चकोर सा ऐसा स्वर तुम लगाओ। सोए पड़े अमृत वाणी को तुम पुनः हमारे मन में जगाओ।